Hello paper crafters, Olga here. Today I have an announcement to make. This year I'm going to present the 25 Days of Christmas tutorial series, just like I did the last 2 years. That means I'm going to publish at least 25 Christmas tutorials until mid-December. Now it's time for the first tutorial, so let's get started. I have used a paper trimmer to cut out those 2 large tags. The measurements are in the screen. I will set one tag aside, and as for the other one, I'm going to create a splatter effect. I'm applying some distress ink right from the pad onto the plastic bag, spritzing it with water, and then I'm going to kind of stamp it all over the background. The color is iced spruce. If you are interested in the supplies, I have them listed in the description as well as on my blog. Next, I'm making some marks at 1/4 of an inch from each edge of the tag. Then I'm going to create a frame using a craft knife and a ruler. The thickness of frame will be 1/4 of an inch. Now it's time to bring in my focal image, and I'm going to use this beautiful new die by Poppy Stamps. It is called Peaceful Dove Collage. So I'm positioning it on a tag, and then I'm going to die cut it. The next die I'm going to use is Peaceful Dove, and this one cuts out an outline of the bird. I have die cut it 3 times out of white cardstock. For the sentiment, I'll be using Believe loose script die. I've also made 3 of them. I'm using some liquid adhesive to stack all 3 die cuts one on top of another, and I'll do it both to the sentiment and to the dove outline. This is a very simple technique, but it makes a huge difference in terms of texture and dimension. I'm also going to create some dimension on a tag, so I'm just sticking the strips of craft foam at the back side of the frame. I'm using quick drying tacky glue. Next, I'm going to use one of my favorite mediums ever, and that is Liquid Enamel Dots by Fabrika Decoru. But this time I'm not going to create any droplets. I'm just covering the entire surface of the frame with it, and I'm applying quite a generous amount of this medium. Then I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of Rock Candy Distress Glitter on top. And then I will have to let it dry for several hours. I'm going to repeat the same technique on a sentiment die cut. This enamel dot medium is just liquid enough to spread easily all around the surface, and it's just thick enough not to drip down and stay on that surface. Now I'm adding some glitter just as I did with the frame. Now it's time for some stenciling. The stencil I'm using is called Tiny Dots. It's by Memory Box. The texture paste I'm using is called Snow-Tex. It's quite chunky and it's perfect for creating the snow effect. I'm placing my tag in a stamping tool, and now I'm defining the position of my sentiment, and that is to be able to stamp the rest of the sentiment using Do You Believe stamp set by Poppy Stamps. I will be using Versamark ink and silver embossing powder by Wow. I'm applying some tape adhesive around the dove at the wrong side of the tag to stick down a piece of acetate. Yes, I'm planning to turn this negative space into a shaker window. I have cut out the same tag shape out of white craft foam. Now I'm going to place my dove on top of it and mark where this window is going to be able to cut out the opening. I have applied some adhesive onto the foam and now I'm sticking it on top of the plain tag. Next I'm attaching the frame. The sequin mix I'm using to fill in the shaker is Sparkling Clear Solid Confetti by Cat Scrappiness. I'm also adding some rock candy distress glitter inside. I'm applying some glue on top of the foam and then I'm going to cover it up with my tag. Next I'm using a needle applicator bottle to apply some Ranger Multi-Medium Matte onto the dove outline, and I'm sticking it on top of the tag, and as you can see those two dies perfectly work together, although they can totally be used on their own. I'm also adhering the Believe word. I'm bringing in my Snow-Tex again, and this time I'm going to apply it with a spatula on top of the dove outline, the sentiment and the frame, as if they are covered in snow. Another remarkable thing about this medium is that I have had it for 3 years now, and it's not drying inside the jar. It's just as good as new. When I'm finished applying the medium, I will set the tag aside to dry completely. I'm also going to attach some sequins on top of the tag. They are the same ones I used to fill in the shaker. And by the way, they come in 2 sizes, 4 and 6 millimeters. I'll be using both. At this point, I've made an important decision. I've decided to change my backdrop from white to shining silver. So I'm just tearing it off and then I'm going to replace it with a silver tag. Now it's time for some finishing touches. I'm piercing a hole at the top of the tag to be able to attach a piece of ribbon and tie a bow. I'll be using white shiny organza ribbon. I'm using one piece of a ribbon to make a loop and another piece to tie a bow around this loop. I will also be adding a DIY charm to the bow. I have attached 3 jump rings to 3 jingle bells, and then I'm using a large jump ring to put those 3 little ones onto it. Then I can attach it to the bow. And that finishes my tag for today. Thank you for watching this tutorial till the end. If you would like to see more, here are the videos from the last 2 years. Have a fantastic time preparing for Christmas, and I'll be seeing you soon.